what I find with a lot of the graduates that I work with is that they'll go for a job and then they'll find that the challenge is getting that job because they don't actually know what the role entails, and so they don't know if they're going to be good for that job at all or not. So they get to the assessment centre and find that, wait, this job isn't right for me, or I'm not really capable, or this isn't really what I want to do with my future. So I think the first challenge with all graduates is knowing exactly what role, and not just in, say, finance or law or so on, but specifically what job do you want? Because in finance, I mean, there are hundreds of different roles in finance, so it's what type of role is best suited for you, and with the firm, which firm is going to be best for you for your growth. Some people are better off at working in small firms, building up. Some people going straight into the big firms and building from there. So the main challenge I find is knowing which role it is. There are sort of various challenges. I think the first challenge is knowing what the assessment centre is. What are they looking for? What's the main challenge I find with graduates is that they think they know what the assessment centre is about, but they don't actually have a real understanding of all the different components, what each component means, what they're looking for in each part. I mean, so for example, if I give you problem solving is a classic case of graduates thinking that they know what that component is about, but really they have no idea what the actual recruiter is looking for. So for example, they'll think, I go in there, we'll be in a group, and we'll just be here to solve a problem. How do you manage a group when you've been given a task? How do you get the best out of people without people overbearing one another? So I mean, that's a classic example, but I think all the way throughout the assessment centres, I think people face challenges in understanding what they're looking for and how to put it across. But recruiters are always looking for a good manager. So what they're looking for is somebody who can manage people, not someone who can order people, because that's not a manager. And that's what people think. So when they go to an assessment centre, they'll try and shout over people, whereas a recruiter is looking for that person who will let others speak, who will let other ideas come to the fore. A manager gets the best out of everybody there. So what recruiters are looking for is that one person in that group who can get the best out of people, get people to speak, ensure that everyone's got their idea across, make sure everyone sticks to time. That's what they're looking for, really. Somebody who's got the eye on the whole picture, not just individual components and tasks. What I find with graduates is that they focus on what they're good at and they try to build that, which is all fair and well, but you've got to develop the whole game, because that's the only way you're going to get a job. That's the only way that your recruiter's going to look at you and think you are suitable for this role with us. And I find that too many graduates don't focus on what they're not strong at. So, I mean, for example, if you're not confident in a group, that's something you need to build on, as opposed to if you're very confident with speaking to people on one-on-one, and that's great. Work on that, but ensure that you work on the areas that you're not so strong at. Is we look to help graduates understand what role they want, and what I do through seminars and lectures, we work with them on all the different components so they get a real understanding of what recruiters are looking for. Following the seminars, I think, is where the real work happens sometimes, is that I spend about 10 hours with each graduate. Somebody, John, say for example, brilliant at interviews, brilliant at speaking to people on a one-to-one basis, but when he comes into a group, he doesn't know how to sort of compose himself. Does he get very loud when other people get loud? Does he get very quiet and let them speak? How does he go about it? So helping them develop all the areas to make sure that they are essentially what the recruiter is looking for. It's not finding the managers, it's bringing out the manager in them. As a career agency, we look to help them not only get the role, but then progress throughout their entire career. Well, the graduates can get in contact with us first through our website, or just by calling up and just speaking to somebody within our team. But also, as well as holding our training facilities within Leicester, we go through all universities. So right the way from Scotland, so from St Andrews in Edinburgh, we go all the way down to Southampton. I'll give you an example of a graduate I had, a girl named Emma, a really smart girl. She went to a top 20 university, had always had an interest in finance. She was always reading the journals about the Financial Times and so on, and she really wanted to work in finance. And before she came to me, she made 2 applications, one to a larger firm, a FTSE 500 firm, and one to a slightly smaller firm. Now, with the FTSE 500 firm, her application, she basically sent the application form off, and that was the end of it. She got a projection straight away. So no chance for her to basically show off her skills and her interests. With the smaller firm, she got through to the assessment centre and basically struggled. From her point of view, she really struggled at sort of the problem-solving tasks and the group discussions. And she was really sort of unaware of all the different aspects of the assessment centre. Then she came to us. First she came on our seminars, obviously, so for 15 hours she came on our seminars and lectures, and I taught her everything about the application process. So helped her with the forms, helped her understand the presentations, the interviews, everything. Whether she was good or bad at it, made sure she knew everything and why it was done. Then I spent 10 hours working with her, just one-on-one with her, helping her develop the areas that she wasn't so strong at. And that was in group discussions and problem solving. So I helped her understand basically how to manage people. And after those 10 hours, I prepped her for the interview. So the day before her actual assessment centre and the interview, I spent a couple of hours with her going through all the different aspects, making sure she was fully up to scratch on everything, making sure she knew what she needed to know. And she basically went and got the job, got settled in, hit the ground running, and 6 months down the line, she's told me that she's now been earmarked as a future manager. Hopefully in 10 years' time, somebody will come to me and say, we're looking for a finance manager or a chief financial officer for our firm. Do you know anybody? And Emma's name will pop up in my mind, and hopefully we can help Emma's career progress even further then.